buildings. The mausoleum we got from 40 to 70 different buildings construction. Here they only have a few. The stone is pavilion. What they tell in the life of Eddie. Yeah, with a lot of statues and stuff.
Này đến làm gì?
This one is the grave of the emperor. Now I think that you still like don't know where is the coffin of the emperor. Because when I told you about the tomb of the emperor, there are 5 floors. And here's the grave of the emperor. And normally people think that the coffin of the emperor is inside the grave. Yeah, it's not. Because the emperor fell when he took the coffin of the emperor to the tomb. That's in 1925. This grave not in the tomb. So here's the way. Where you plan the cemetery and second floor here. And now we are 5th floor. So we are maybe and then maybe the first. So we move the coffin of the emperor into the supervisor. So coffin of the emperor not in this way. So coffin below this statue in 1922 in Rome. Now you see yellow is the going plate. You go outside. set symbol that the flower you see around here is not real flower, it's a metal. This flower we put in the tomb from 1925 to 29. Yeah, when we have the French official, they follow the funeral of the emperor. They put the flower around here. Everything you see in the tomb.
Amazing. I mean, good luck, I suppose. We'll all stand by the fan here.